Welcome back to yet another episode of Chiefs Central.
Yeah. See,
Um,
season's about ready to start.
yeah, I thought we'd jump on and do a little preseason recap since we just finished up the preseason. Quite a bit of news, especially the last couple of days regarding signings and trades and all that stuff too. So we got
Yeah.
a lot of stuff to get into here. Um, First, I mean, overall, pretty successful preseason for the
It,
Chiefs.
yeah.
4-1 record, and the 1-1 that they lost was the one at Eastern against Portland. It was a close game, 2-1. I thought they played well. It was pretty even. The boys definitely looked a little bit like they had a little bit more pep in their step than they did it the last two seasons. So I'm thinking the coaching change was definitely the right move to make.
Yeah.
Um, but honestly, I liked what I saw, and a lot of the I mean, a lot of our stars are away at NHL camps right now too. So we had,
Yeah. That's, yeah.
a lot of younger guys in there, and they were putting in all the work. I want to say Mathis Preston had 6 or 7 goals in the preseason. Ozzie McIntyre, 15-year-old kid, had like 2 or 3 goals. I mean, lots of good stuff.
Owen Martin.
Owen Martin had a great preseason. I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to see what he does this
Yeah.
season.
Me too.
I think he's really going to be something special here in the next couple of years. So last Friday the Chiefs started the preseason. Actually, I guess it was 2 Fridays ago. It was the 6th of September, and the Everett preseason tournament went on that weekend. And so Friday the Chiefs played Seattle, beating Seattle 6-2, six different Chiefs scoring. Um, Campar, Brody Gillespie, Lucas Crawl, who is no longer with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, Rasmus Ekstrom scored. Dawson Cowan played all 60 minutes of that game. Chase Harrington scored. So a lot of different guys getting points on the board. Cohen Harris. I thought he had a great camp. He has had a great preseason too. So I'm glad to see that he's still on the roster. I really think he's going to be something to watch in the next few years too.
Yeah.
Kid's got a lot of skill. And then next day, Chiefs beat Portland 3-2. And then those are the only two games I believe they played in Everett. But I mean, it's a great
Right.
start to the preseason, 2-0. And like I said, that game out at EWU, they fell 2-1 to Portland. They gave up 2 goals pretty early.
You went to
And
that game, right?
I did, yeah. And they first of all, that rink and those facilities out at
That's
Eastern
so nice.
they're so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool out there. It's such a great atmosphere, and it doesn't seat very many people, but being as small as it is and stuff too, like still the crowd was loud as hell. Like college students got in for free and everything. So
Right.
there was a lot of action there, a lot of chippiness. It honestly didn't even look like a preseason game.
Nice.
So that was a great game. Outshot them 35-32. And that was one thing that have noticed, just like kind of looking on all of the game notes and stuff too from all the preseason games. We're actually shooting the puck.
Well,
And
we haven't seen in a while.
not just having shots on net, but looking at each individual player and their shots on goal for the game. It's like everybody had at least one or two, at
Nice.
least. And so that's really promising to see. I'm assuming that's probably something that the new coach kind of planted in their heads. Like, you just throw the puck on net, you never know. And that's probably why we scored as much as we did in the preseason too. So I'm hoping that they kind of carry that into the regular season this year too.
How many years have you and I been the armchair coaches in the stands calling for that?
Well, and I mean, everybody does, and it's kind of a running meme on the internet too,
Yeah.
or fans are yelling, shoot the puck,"
Yeah.
and
But
but
how
but at
many,
the same time, when you're getting outshot 2-1 every single game, it's like you
yeah.
have to shoot the damn puck.
How many times did you and I sit there and look up halfway through the game and be like, God, we only have 9 shots on goal?
Yeah, seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
at least a half a dozen times, if not a dozen times, more last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's definitely one of the early signs things that I've noticed from the new coaching staff and stuff too, is that they're really trying to push that, which I think is something that the Chiefs desperately need.
Yeah.
Um, After that game, or I guess it was right before that game. The Chiefs announced that they signed the import pick Asanali Sarkinov, 6 foot four,
He's big.
two
Yeah.
hundred pound forward from Kazakhstan. Let's see here, 20th overall in the CHL import draft. Matt Barsley said he's a big forward with a big frame. He likes to play a physical game, has a heavy shot that can create scoring opportunities, and is relentless in pursuit of the puck. 6'4" winger. Uh, let's see. Made a name for himself at the U18 World Junior Championships in Finland last year by scoring a hat trick against Team Canada.
Wow.
And it was the first time that Kazakhstan has been in the tournament since 2003. And so
Long drought.
having a showing like that, it's pretty cool. So once I saw that we signed him, which I was super stoked that we did, because
Yes.
I was kind of bummed that he wasn't there at camp, because I did, I was thinking that maybe he wasn't going to end up coming over. But then
Right.
I was pretty stoked when I saw that. And when I was out at that game at EWU, you saw him walking around outside with some of the other scratch players and stuff too. That's a big dude.
Yeah.
That is
Good.
a big dude. So I think that's going to be something that the Chiefs are going to really benefit from this year.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Um,
we know what that was going to mean, though.
yeah, unfortunately, we did know that gives us 3 import players, and so one of them was going to have to go at some point here. I think the 25th was the deadline, so a week from today.
Yeah.
Um, but oh wow, that was a terrible strike three call. Holy
Yes, it
cow.
was. It wasn't even close. I'm watching it too.
um, But the Chiefs didn't hang their heads on that loss against Portland. The next day, they were down in Tri Cities for their preseason tournament, and the Chiefs kind of blew out Wenatchee 8-3.
Yeah,
Owen
that was
Martin,
crazy.
Owen Martin with a hat trick. Ozzie McIntyre had a goal and an assist. Brody Gillespie and Asanali Sarkinov each provided 2 assists in the game. Carter Essler played all 60 minutes in goal, making 33 saves. Mathis Preston had 2 goals. Cam Parr had a goal and an assist. So it's pretty promising to see all the different guys kind of getting on the board as much as they are too, and a lot of the
A
younger guys.
little scoring by committee. I like it.
Going back to that home game at Eastern, the 1 goal that the Chiefs scored, couple of 16-year-olds, and it was some pretty beautiful stuff. Mathis Preston had the puck in neutral ice, kind of skating back toward the defensive zone a little bit and kind of pulling the Portland defender along with him. And then Rhett Sather came off the bench and kind of went behind the defenseman, and Preston no look backhand passed it right on his tape, and he cut in around the other defender and then went backhand top shelf. It was beautiful.
Nice.
So stuff like that is really cool to see from, a young defenseman too.
Yeah.
So I think that having a little bit more um
Minded.
offensively minded defenseman, yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be a huge benefit too. And to be completely honest, with everything that I've seen so far of Braden Crampton at the preseason, he looks like a completely different player too.
Good.
So I think that having a veteran 20-year-old like that running your back end and stuff too, looks like, from what I saw at the game, like we're actually getting shots through the net from the
Hmm.
point, through traffic and everything too. And so it's like I said, just a lot of positives that I've seen so far, at least,
Nice.
I mean, through the preseason. Um, and then their final preseason game down in Tri City, they shut out Tri City 4-0. So the
We always
Chiefs
like
with the
that.
Oh, absolutely. You got to love that. And especially when it's down in Tri City. It doesn't matter
Exactly.
if it's preseason or not. Um, Carter or Coco Armstrong had a penalty shot in that game and scored on it. Shea Van Olm had a goal. Carter Essler stopped 21 shots. Um, and then Cooper Michaelick played the first 2 periods of that game, and then Essler played the third period. So he faced 21 shots in the third period,
Wow.
and they shut everything down. Chiefs closed out the preseason with a 4-1 record, scoring 22 goals and giving up just 9.
I like that.
That's really good stuff to see. I'm
Well,
really
we knew
hoping that
our
they could.
goaltending been good for a couple of years too. But yeah, to get that scoring is great.
Oh, 100%. And it's definitely the one thing that's kind of held us back is just our inability to even put the puck on net, to
Yeah,
be honest. Um, and like I said earlier, this is all without Berkeley Catton, Sage Weinstein,
Nick,
McIsaac, Mays. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty promising to see that.
yeah,
I liked a lot of the young 15 and 16-year-olds that we had playing throughout the camp and preseason and everything too. I really like that Rhett Sather kid. I really like Cohen Harris, Dane Pyatt. He looks pretty good too. So um yeah, to add on to that, we were just talking about it. Five current Chiefs attending NHL training camps currently.
yeah.
Uh
So,
I believe the rookie camps are over now, and I think it's like the main training camps starting
oh, is it
now.
already?
I believe so, or at least it will be soon. Um, Nathan Mays attended the Toronto Maple Leafs camp. He was the very last pick in the NHL draft this year. Berkeley Catton obviously is with Seattle. Will McIsaac with St. Louis. Sage Weinstein signed that deal with Colorado a couple years ago. And then Dawson Cowan ended up attending the Sharks rookie camp too. So I was pretty happy to see that he still got invited. I mean, I'm not surprised. I kind of had a feeling that he would,
Yeah, me too.
but it's
It's
still
just
nice
hard.
to
It's
see.
always hard to judge with goalies because they're not such high draft picks and stuff too. You never really know.
Oh, 100%. And and that's the thing too. It's like I was really surprised at the time listening to the draft when I was working when the draft was going on that Cowan didn't get selected because there was all this hype about him getting
Yeah,
picked all season and stuff too. And Um, but then when I kind of went back and looked at it a little bit, like there weren't a lot of goalies that got taken at
no,
all. I
no,
mean, what's the guy from Tri Cities? Their goalie, he was ranked a little bit higher than Mateka. He
yeah,
was ranked a little bit higher than Cowan too. He didn't get selected, so um, like you said, it's a little bit harder to judge with goalies. So I definitely think that he'll get his foot in the door somewhere, and this is a great start.
no.
And
You,
we know he's going to be the guy this year.
yeah,
So I hope that he has a great camp and learns a lot and brings it all back to Spokane and
me
gives
too.
us a little bit of a run this year.
Yeah,
So preseason aside, signed a couple of players in the last couple of days too. Actually, this signing was on the day before the game at Easter. They signed 2024 fourth round defenseman Bryson Roberts. He actually played in that game at Eastern.
oh, did he? I didn't know that.
15-year-old kid, 2009 born. Um, played great. I thought he had a great showing too. I mean, he's out there getting pushed around by all the veteran Portland guys that were dressed for the game and stuff too, and it didn't seem to phase him at all. The kid looked pretty confident. So, um, reading this article here, I'm seeing that his older brother Colton Roberts is a defenseman with the Vancouver Giants, and he was just selected in the fifth round by San Jose in this year's draft too. So some skill in the family, maybe it'll
Yeah,
carry on down to him.
little bloodline going there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've liked that we're signing a lot of defensemen
Me too.
too.
I was
That's a
thinking
really
the same thing.
promising sign because I mean that's one thing that we've really lacked last 3 or 4 years. I mean, last year I think it was a huge step in the right direction. And I think this year is going to be an even bigger step with,
Yeah,
Caden Allen coming in full time and um I'm set Brett Sather, probably missing a couple people, but on top of that, we signed 2023 fifth rounder Nolan Saunderson. We signed him today. He's 5'11" blue liner from Brandon, Manitoba. Spent the 23-24 season with Brandon Wheat Kings U18 AAA squad. He's had 16 points with a goal and 15 assists in 41 games. Played for Team Manitoba at the 2023 WHL Cup, helping his province win its first ever gold medal at the tournament. So he's a 2008 born, so he is able to play full time this year too. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him around at some point if he's not already.
yeah.
So that'll be cool to see. He looked good in camp too. I liked. I mean, I've noticed him the last couple of training camps too. So, and then the big news yesterday, Chiefs acquire 2005 born forward Matthew Edwards from Vancouver in exchange for a fifth round pick. Did you look into this guy's stats at all?
I didn't.
I looked I looked
I
into
just
it.
was all I did was think, you know what, you and I've been talking about this. We have all these draft picks. What are we going to do with them? That's all I was.
Yeah, well, and the other thing too is like I did not like the low amount of 19-year-olds that we had on the roster. And I
Mm-hmm.
still don't, to be completely honest with you, because after picking up Matthew Edwards, we still only have him, Sage Weinstein, Dawson Cowan, and Cooper Michael are only 19-year-olds, and two of them are goalies.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a little bit more veteran presence that you need on the team if you're gonna kind
Yeah.
of. I can see Bardsley's plan is slowly starting to come together a little bit. I mean, you can definitely tell just based off the moves he's made, the signings he's made, and kind of how he's built the team going into this season too. Um, he he's a big guy. He's a forward 6'1" from Saskatoon, played in 85 WHL games with Vancouver, was originally a fourth round pick by them in the 2020 prospects draft. He led the Vancouver Giants in penalty minutes last season with 107
Nice.
107 and 47 games, so bringing a little bit of veteran grit to the team.
We need that.
um I mean, losing a guy like Shovel Day off and stuff too, guys that are kind of a pest and stuff too. And
Yeah.
like looking at some of his film and stuff too, he's definitely a pest, but he's not afraid to throw hands. He throws the body. He really gets in there. So I think that's a great trade for the Chiefs. I was pleasantly surprised to see that. Oh, come on, Julio, you got to crank that. So his career total is 179 penalty minutes. So having 107 and 40 some games last year, so that's going to be a great addition to the
Yeah.
forward group, I think, this year too.
Be
Not
nice to have some of that
necessarily,
back on the team.
yeah, definitely not necessarily a huge offensively skilled guy, but he's put up quite a bit of points still too. So and then today, the move that we were all kind of expecting, even though I thought he had a fantastic camp in
Yeah. Great
preseason.
preseason.
He looked great, but
And since he was sick all last year too, and they came on at the end of the year, he had a good finish to the season last year too.
yeah, he really looked good. But unfortunately, I think with us signing Sarkinov and Rasmus Ekström coming back, he was kind of the odd man out in this
Yeah.
situation. And I am glad that they were able to make a trade for him instead of just releasing him.
Yes.
I mean, you might as well,
Yeah.
and it still gives him a chance to play in the league too. And I definitely think he's skilled enough to do so.
Oh, me too.
So, yeah, the Chiefs traded Lucas Krull to Prince Albert in exchange for a seventh round pick in 2025. Bardsley said, with having to decide next week on our two import players, this will allow Lucas a good opportunity in Prince Albert. We enjoyed having him with us in Spokane and wish him all the best. He played 43 games in his rookie season with the Chiefs last year, scoring 8 goals and 8 assists for 16 points. Like you said, he was injured a lot, had some illness issues and stuff
Yes.
too. So um, this move puts the Chiefs at 27 rostered players going into opening weekend and trims their import players down to 2. So I feel like our opening night roster is pretty much set in stone
Me
now
too.
at this point. So now all we got to do is live another day, and then we got Chiefs hockey Friday, Saturday. They
Yeah,
play
I'm looking forward to it.
up in Prince George. I'm sure the boys are probably already up there.
I would think so.
So um I mean, yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. They're
Or
definitely
at
probably
least
gonna
way. Yeah.
get a practice in and stuff too, and get ready. I'm pretty excited to get the old WHL live going again.
Yeah, me too. I got to get that going. Haven't done that yet.
Did you get that code that they sent out for the
Yeah,
season ticket holders?
I did.
Okay, cool. And then I was thinking about this earlier today too. It's like I think we've talked about it before, and uh, Mike Boyle really doesn't get any time off, does he?
No, you and I were talking. We went to the Indians game a couple weeks ago. We were talking about that. I mean, they just ended their season. What, 2 days ago, 3 days ago?
Yeah, they won the
They,
Northwest League championship.
yeah, yeah, and now here,
Congrats to the Indians. That's huge.
that is awesome. They won
For
both half the season too.
uh-huh, first time since 2008. So,
Yeah, but
did
no,
did you happen to see how they won that
yes,
game with
the
the hit
walk
by
off.
pitch? The hit
Yeah,
by pitch, yeah, insane. It's just
Yeah,
such a crazy way to win the championship
isn't it
too.
though?
But it's congrats to the Indians though. That's awesome. First time
Yeah,
they've won it since 2008. Now it's the Chiefs' turn.
yeah.
Let's get Boiler two championships in the same season
Wouldn't
again,
that be
eh?
nice? I mean, I feel bad that you only got like 2 days off, but
I know. I'm well now. Then he has a 12-hour bus trip up to Prince George, like right
yeah,
after that too. Poor guy, but he's a warrior.
he is.
We saw him out at the Eastern game at East
Oh,
the
did you?
preseason game at Eastern. He was doing some camera work for Creme too.
Nice.
So he's I mean that dude does not take a day off. So
No, he
respect to
does not.
him.
Yeah,
We love Boiler.
we do.
Oh man. But other than that, how was your off season?
My off season?
Yeah,
We're not talking about my off season.
off season was a little rough, and I'm ready
My
for the
off
season to
season was
start.
off. My off season was off. Let's just
Yeah.
put it that way. And yesterday and today were more of the same times a million.
Oh, fun stuff. Don't you love it?
No, I don't.
No, I don't either. You know
I
what? I don't either.
thank you for being a sounding board and always listening to me with my bitching, but Jesus.
I got you.
I got to work today and Scott saw the look on my face and he goes, "Do we need to go for a walk?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Let's go walk." And I
I
have
love
not had
it.
anybody take me to do
God
that in a
damn it.
long time.
Mariners are going to lose this game too.
Yes, they are. Like,
I see, and that's the other reason I'm really stoked for hockey season coming up is I'm so tired of watching the Mariners.
God, the first half of the year was so good.
Yeah, 10 game lead in the AL West, and every time the Astros lose and all the wild card teams we're chasing lose, we just can't seem to win.
Well,
Obviously, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. It's just the 10th inning. It's
but
just a 2-1 game,
you
but
never
I
should have given up the lead after being up 10 games. And
no, no, they really kind of screwed themselves there. But
you know,
anyway, it is what it is. But
maybe they're meant to just come from behind every year.
I guess so. Well, I guess we'll hop back on here on Monday again and start doing our weekly shows since the season's starting back up and kind of recap the weekend.
Sounds good.
All right.
Looking
Let's
forward to it.
go. Go Chiefs, go, baby.
Go Chiefs, go.